to politics. And as we said, President Trump wading directly into the Me Too debate.
Yeah, in his latest tweet storm, the president defending the accused and expressing no sympathy for the accusers, saying people are being brought down by, quote, mere allegations. ABC's David Wright has more on this story from the White House. David, good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia and Dan. President Trump's call for due process for men accused of sexual wrongdoing is drawing catcalls and boos from Democratic members of Congress, especially women, some of them making the point that the women who accused Trump deserve due process themselves. In the aftermath of a scandal that's cost 2 West Wing staffers their jobs, President Trump tweeted a full-on critique of the Me Too movement. People's lives are being shattered and destroyed by a mere allegation, he said. Some are true and some are false. Some are old and some are new. There is no recovery for someone falsely accused. Life and career are gone. Is there no such thing any longer as due process? This, one day after Trump lavished praise on former White House staff secretary Rob Porter, who resigned after 2 of his ex-wives accused him of domestic abuse. Porter denies the allegation.
We absolutely wish him well. Did a very good job while he was at the White House.
Women Democrats are now slamming Trump. Senator Patty Murray shot back. Women's lives are upended every day by sexual violence and harassment. I'm going to keep standing with them and trusting them, even if the president won't. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand went even further, reminding her constituents that more than a dozen women have accused Trump of sexual misconduct. If he wants due process, let's have congressional hearings tomorrow. I would support that, and my colleagues should too. When it comes to allegations of sexual misconduct, the president has tended to give allies like Senate candidate Roy Moore the benefit of the doubt, while calling out opponents like former Senator Al Franken.
Women are very special. I think it's a very special time because a lot of things are coming out, and I think that's good for our society, and I think it's very, very good for women.
One woman the president does stand by is Hope Hicks, the White House communications director, who's been on his team since Trump Tower. Hicks was known to be dating Rob Porter during their time at the White House. Trump said to be less than pleased with her handling of the Porter situation. But Saturday, he issued a formal statement saying Hope is absolutely fantastic, calling her smart, very talented, and respected by all. Now, Republicans aren't too happy about the president's comments either. They've been hoping that he would stick to the message about tax cuts and the economy. Instead, he's veering off and infuriating women voters. And many Republicans worry that's not going to help them when it comes to the midterms. Cecilia and Dan?
David Wright at the White House, thank you. Lots to talk about here. So let's bring in ABC News chief anchor George Stephanopoulos, who's going to be hosting this week later this morning right here on ABC. Good morning. So is there perhaps some political calculation on the part of Donald Trump here, given the fact that there are people in the country who do believe Me Too has gone too far? And I believe he believes, gained from wading into cultural controversies like the NFL kneeling, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, no question about that last point. I don't understand a strategy here if there is one. I think it's much more about impulse and instinct. I mean, when you look at the president's history, whenever one of his friends or allies gets in trouble with accusations of sexual harassment or abuse, he defends the man, whether it's Roger Ailes or Bill O'Reilly or Corey Lewandowski during the campaign, or himself, when more than a dozen women came forward. So I think this is just what the president believes, where his instincts are, where he historically stands, and he just is angry with all this coverage, so you get an angry tweet on Saturday morning.
You don't think he likes saying something provocative and then cue the rage machine and let the Democrats freak out?
I suppose, though, but take David Wright's last point. I mean, this is not going to help his party this year with women voters as we approach these crucial midterm elections. If the president loses the House, then he's much more vulnerable to impeachment. So maybe that is the president's calculation. Maybe that's the tactic he's deciding to take, but I don't think it's a long-term strategy. It's pretty short-sighted.
One of the big questions we've been reporting on all week is just how much John Kelly, the chief of staff, knew and when he knew it. The president, we're told, is furious with him, so much so that they've got a list, basically, of possible replacements. Is this enough to do him in?
I don't think the president would want to admit that something has gone wrong and so act right in the wake of what happened last week. But you're exactly right. We're hearing that the president is very angry, that he's working the phones, sounding out possible replacements for John Kelly, and that their relationship has been sort of on the wane for some time. And as you know, you cover him every day. This is not the first misstep by John Kelly in the last several weeks. So I think he is on relatively thin ice. As for the timing, hard to know. But our John Karl also reported that he expressed a willingness to the president to resign, even though he didn't offer the resignation.
You mentioned those midterms coming up. Republicans really would rather be talking about tax cuts. Right now, we're only hearing from Democratic women on this one. Can Republicans really continue to sit this out?
They don't like to be asked questions about the president's tweets. I think there's no question about that. They would prefer, as David Wright said, they prefer to be talking about tax cuts. They prefer to be talking about the economy. They're going to try to duck these questions if they can. We'll see if that can hold on.
George Stephanopoulos, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.